like a referee with a whistle. Yeah. The holiday weekend is over. Things are getting back to normal. Nah, I'm just kidding. You know what I'm saying? I hope you enjoyed your extended holiday weekend with your loved ones, your friends, your family, or whoever you care about. You know what I'm saying? You know, most of the people that I care about, they've passed away. A lot of them. I got sisters and brothers or whatever, but they're a couple hours away from me. And it rained a lot. It rained a lot this weekend. It's still raining right now. So that's why I didn't do much. The rain pretty much. The rain pretty much killed the weekend for me. Yeah. Yeah, the rain didn't help anything this weekend. Can't go to the beach. Can't It's not even warm enough to go to the beach. Man, it's in the 72. Yeah, that's not beach weather. No, that's not gonna work. It's not even sun. It wasn't sunny the whole time. If it wasn't raining, it wasn't really sunny. Yeah, so it rained every day from Friday and even right now. So man, this is not Memorial Weekend weather. This is unusual, I would say. But hey, it is what it is. We can only control what we can control. And that's it. And that's it. But, I'm curious to know how your weekend was. And where you from? 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 Yeah. Because, there's some people that follow me in other countries, overseas, you know. But I know one thing. Sometimes, most of the time, if I go live or upload videos, a lot of people don't get the alerts. They don't get notices. I know that much. But it's all good. It's all good, though. I know how this game go. I've been doing this for a long time now. So I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. Sin. But, I did a video 2 weeks ago talking about old people and how old people today have no game and they don't have no strategy. Old people today are, in my opinion, pitiful. They're not worth a nickel out here today. Most old people that And when I say old people, let's get the age range. There's an age range to this. Let's take 55 to 70. That's the age group I'm talking about when I say old people. They ain't worth a nickel. I'm telling you today. You know what most of these old people are doing that I'm talking about? Not most, but a lot of them. They're on Facebook kicking it with their classmates that they graduated with 40 years ago, some shit like that, 40, 50 years ago. And some of them have reduced to trolling online. That's what they doing. A lot of them are doing that. They're trolling online because in reality, most of the old people that you know, some of them in your family, they're against you secretly. That's the truth. They are against you, bro. Whether you're a man or a woman, it don't even matter. Most of the old people today are against you. The only thing they think about or talk about in most cases is the next vacation, the next day out of town. Um, talk about going to church on Sunday. What else they talk? The job. Oh, they love that job, boy. They don't even want to quit that job. That's all they talk about. The job, going to church on Sunday, the next vacation, the medication, the pills that they take. That's it. They're not even thinking about you most of the time. If you're over, let's say, I'm gonna be conservative when I say this. If you have sisters and brothers, and your mom and dad is like 60 years old, and you out of the house, they really want you to leave. But let's say you still at home. They want you to leave. Because when you leave, that's less money for them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But let's say you out of the house. When you leave and move out, they ain't thinking about you no more. In most cases, they're happy you gone. It's less food, less money for them in the household. When you move out, they're happy you gone. That's how a lot of old people think today. It ain't the way it used to be when my parents were growing up, where the family was first. They thought about the next generation. They want the next generation to be well off, much in a better position than they was. No, they're not even thinking about. They're not even thinking about your ass. They're not thinking about their kids. In most cases, they're not. You know, they're not. You have an old face. You was a liar. You're the only person that ever said that. Yeah, I was talking to somebody today, and she said, "I don't even look my age, so I know you a lying ass troll." And I hope you a woman. If you're a man saying that, yeah, you wonder, you part of the problem. You part of the problem. You one of them old people that's been reduced to trolling. You know, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of old people have been reduced to trolling, basically. You know, there's a lot of them like that. A lot of them have been reduced to trolling. They come online. A lot of old people act like young people. You know, they act like young people online, trolling away. You know, they doing that. Cause you now you got to think about it like this. They say the older you get, the wiser you get, right? No, not today. No, it's rare that you meet someone that's in their 40s and 50s that's wiser and giving you some game. No, not today. No, not today, man. No, it ain't. It's fair. I don't know a lot of people that's like me. I don't know a lot of people that. I'm talking people in my age bracket. I don't know a lot of people that's like me today. No. Now, when I was growing up, looking at my parents, there was a lot of people like my parents. There was a lot of people out there like my parents. I'm not saying it's in the hundreds, but if I look at how my mom and my dad was as individuals, I know at least 7, 8 people like my mom when I was growing up. I know at least 5, 6 guys like my dad when I was growing up. Today, if I really look at all the people I know, people that are the movers and shakers today, I almost don't know. I would be sitting here struggling to name someone that's similar to them or just like them. It's not in today's time. No. So you got to think about it. Grandma today, in most cases, is less than 40. Grandma today is 35, 40. Grandma today is 60, 62, 65, something like that. Or could be in the 50s today. Now, when I was growing up, my grandmother was always old. I never seen my grandmother old. When I was born, my grandmother was in the 60s when I was born. And by the time I became a teenager, she was in the 70s. I think she was like 75. So I'm like 12 years old. My grandmother was 75. And my mom had me when she was 41. You see what I'm saying? But today, no. Today, no. It's a completely different ball game today. The next generation, in my opinion, has become weaker. It's not like, like schools today is like a daycare center. It's kids go to school today, don't learn anything. And then they blame the kids. It's the kid's fault. He lazy. This is the only country that I know of that blame the kids when they don't get a good education. This is the only country that the people tolerate that shit. I don't know of any other country, maybe you can tell me, I don't know of any other country where the kids get blamed for not being educated properly. I don't know any other country that tolerates that, puts up with that. But they do it here. They do here all the time. Kids can't read and write. Kids misbehaving. It's always the kid's fault. It's never the parents' fault. Never. Never. They don't even blame the teacher. Heck, they don't even blame the teacher. The teacher get off scot-free in most cases. Every once in a while you have some parent that goes down there and jump on a teacher. But that's not very often. That's not common. That's not common. So that's why I came to the conclusion that most parents today, they don't care about their kids. Because look how they treat them. They blame the kids when they don't get educated. And the teacher blame the kids when they don't get educated. How the kid supposed to win in a situation like the kid is being blamed for every goddamn thing. The kid is being blamed by the teacher and the parent. So they're like, God damn, everybody's against me as a kid. How you supposed to learn and nah, that shit don't work, man. That don't work, man. You can't. You already you're already in a bad position already as a kid. I mean, as a kid, you're not even responsible for your actions. But these people are setting you up for failure. Your own parent is setting you up for failure. And it seems like the older you get, the worse it gets. If, like, when a kid grows up, they don't have shit to work with. In most cases. There's no structure. It's just everybody's trying to figure shit out in most cases. Unless you a foreigner or some shit like that. He let you get in some free shit. You know. But if you're not getting no free shit, no handout, no unearned benefits, you're gonna be out here with the kids that's trying to figure the shit out. By the time you turn 18 and graduate, you're gonna be out here with other young adults trying to figure out shit. Because you're not gonna have anything to work with. So you're gonna get a job that you probably hate. That, it's like you're pushing and you're grunting. You basically, and you're gonna use that money to pay your rent or wherever you live, whether you got a roommate or you still stay with your parents, But you already had nothing to work with. You don't. But at the same time, people expect you to do all this exceptional shit, but you have no tools. You have no resources. You can't compete. If you got a group of people over there that's getting free shit all the time and telling you need to pull yourself up by the bootstrap, but they getting free shit all the time, you can't compete with that. You can't compete with that. You can't compete against free unearned benefits. You can't compete with that. No way. That's impossible. But see, the old people ain't telling you that, what's going on out there. They just telling you what you ain't doing. And if you go to an old person and say what I just said tonight, they'll say, oh, don't worry about what nobody else is doing. What about you? What are you doing? And that's what you're going to get. You're going to get chastised and, but they don't have no solution. They don't have no answers. They don't have no strategy. They can't help you do anything. Not only did they didn't tell you or teach you anything, they don't know what to tell you. Because they don't have no answers. So you're like 20-something years old by this time. Maybe you just graduated college. Now you got student loan debt, like most of us have when we get out of college. You got student loan debt now. Can't pay that back because, hey, you just ain't making enough money. That's just a reality. You graduate, whatever you took in college, you can't get a job in that shit. It just didn't work out. If you got a job, it's probably some short-term job or shit just didn't work out. Maybe you got fired. You know what I'm saying? It happens. Happens to a lot of people. But you're not walking around telling everybody what the hell going on with you because you're going to get the same response. It's going to be something negative. You're going to get chastised. And you don't want to hear that shit. You just got fired and now your money low or you might not have no money. The next paycheck, that's all you got coming in. You got to find another means of income some way, somehow. So you don't want to hear nothing but, no, you ain't doing this, you ain't doing that, you ain't got enough experience, you ain't got enough education. You don't want to hear that bullshit. You be like, man, go ahead with that shit, granny. You know what I'm saying? You ain't trying to hear none of that bullshit. You just walk off when she start talking. Because she don't really got no answers for you. Everything is just talk. Talk, 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 talk. So at some point, you're going to realize that you're going to have to go outside to get the answers that you're looking for. You're going to have to do something totally different. Because whatever you've been doing, at this point, it ain't working. It ain't working. You know what I'm saying? So you be like, I don't know what the hell these people talking about. Whatever everything they told me to do, none of it worked. It don't take a genius to figure that out. At some point, you got to be like, look, I got to do something radically different if I want to at least just live a decent life. You know what I'm saying? What's up? What's North Carolina yeah, who's from North Carolina? I live in North Carolina. What's going down? What's up, nephew? What's going down? We got a troll in here. Yeah, you got a troll in here, boy. I hope you a woman. That's a woman? No, you look like a man. Yeah, get up out of here. Out of here. Yeah, get up out of here. Yeah, I don't like sissies. Yeah, get up out of here. I don't like sissies. Get up out of here. You from Gastonia? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's right down the street from me. Yeah. I almost bought a house in Gastonia about 4 years ago. I almost bought a house down there. I almost moved to Gastonia. The gas house! Shit. You know, I'm glad I didn't do that, though. I'm happy I didn't do that. Because I knew I would have to keep coming to Charlotte for shit. You know, smash the like button. Smash the like button. Yeah, I had to keep coming to Charlotte all the time. So I'm happy I didn't do that. Oh, P.S. and by the way, check it out. 500 pages of game, baby, for that ass. You know what I'm talking about? Love at first click. I'm moving up that way soon, like December. Oh, okay. Okay, I hear you. You know. It's expensive up here now. It ain't cheap up here. It ain't cheap like it used to be now. Hey, the gas house is cheap. It's cheap to live down there. You come up here now, you got to break bread. Any way it used to be. But yeah, you know, it don't take a genius to figure out that, look, at some point, everything I was taught, the way I was raised, this shit ain't working. And these old ass people ain't helping. All they doing is talking. Running their damn mouth. And you be like, look, man, you know, I tell you, you know, I'm gonna have to move somewhere. Even if it's 30 minutes away. Even if it's in Gastonia, I got to move from Gastonia to Charlotte. Even if it's 30 minutes away, God damn it, I got to leave. We got to get away from y'all. You know, because y'all too damn negative. Y'all, I can't think straight being around y'all. You know? It'd be like that. You know, sometimes you got to leave the nest and venture off, get yourself together, find all the answers, and come back. That's how, sometimes you got to do that. You know, sometimes you got to do that. But you know what? I didn't have to do that. I didn't have to leave home. I just left home because I wanted to. I go home all the time. But I didn't. When I was younger, I didn't have to leave home. No. My parents were very positive, very optimistic about a lot of different things. Yeah, my parents very. I had good parents. They're very positive about a lot of different things. My parents never said I couldn't do something. I don't even think they knew if I could do it or not, but they just never said I couldn't do it. You know, what they would say is, if I would tell my parents something I'm doing, they're like, how's it going? Oh, it's going okay. Well, we'll keep doing it. That's what they would say, but they wouldn't really say too much negative stuff when I was growing up. Even as an adult, they, you know, now they didn't like when I got a name calling. like like I give you an example. If I say hey Monica girl, she's a hoe. And they said don't. She's like don't call them hoes. Just call them loose girls. She didn't. They didn't like that. My way of expressing myself with the language I was using. She was like, yeah, I know you. Don't say hoes. Just call them loose girls. Yeah, you know. So instead of let me say something else. I used to say. I used to say. Something else I used to say too. My mom would say, "No, don't say it like that. Say it like this." Yeah. I mean, hey, she's a. I think one time, I was like, man, she's a. It was some woman that everybody knew, in back at home, and I was saying, I think my sister was saying that she was a home wrecker, right? You know, and I said, well, what that mean? And my sister said, oh, she's just a bitch. You know, that sleep with people's husband. And my mom was like, no, she's a home wrecker. Yeah, say it like that. Yeah. I mean, my mom had a way with words, man. That shit was hilarious, man. I think that was her best skill set. She had a way with words. And I pick up a lot of that from her. You know, she had a way with words, man. I'm telling you. You know, but my mom was very she was a very different type of woman, I would say. She was she could sing, she could dance, she could write, cause she could speak. She could do a lot of different things. She was the type of person that would she could walk in the room and everybody be looking. She could flip the room. That's what she called it. You know, I haven't met a lot of women that had that skill set, that have that skill set. You know, yeah. So she's a very different. I didn't even realize it until I got older. As a kid, I didn't. I mean, I saw things, but I didn't really understand it. You know, so. Yeah, so she lived to be rest in peace to my mom. Salute, you know, and my dad. Yeah, they lived to be very old. So, you know, I got to spend a lot of time with them. But the only thing that I regret is I never took a vacation with them. Like me taking them on a vacation. It's my idea. We getting on a plane and we going to wherever. I never got a chance to do that with them. Yeah, we went on vacation together, but I was a kid then, a teenager, you know. But that's the only regret I have. But I learned a lot. I learned a lot of game from my parents. Yeah, I learned a lot of game from my parents, you know. But my parents' generation were different. Like a different breed, you know, in my opinion. The shit my parents did, I don't see a lot of that today, you know, and it's so rare. Every time I meet somebody that does anything that's similar to my parents, shit, I don't want to let them go, cause it's like, oh shit, that's different. What's your phone number? I'm telling you, man. You know? That's how rare it is. You know? I mean, today we're in a pill popping society today. People popping on antidepressants. People on the narcotics. I mean, shit. You know, you got people. Look, you got old people on these damn apps. These old broads on the damn apps. You name any app, it don't matter. All of them on there. Maybe 40, 50, 60, 70 years old. These old women on these apps trolling. Most of them. Most of them is trolling. They acting like they really want to meet somebody, but they really don't. Some of them are getting paid to troll. That's another thing that you don't know. You know. Only reason I know this because I know people that own these apps and the websites. You know, so a lot of these women on there have fake profiles trolling online. So what happened now, and plus, check this out. Let me tell you something else you don't know. You connect with somebody on, it don't matter. You pick the app. But you connect with somebody on some of these apps and websites, you thinking, yeah, she's feeling me, yo, yeah. You go back and forth with her 4 or 5 times with the emails. You be like, hey, we need to get on the phone. All right, cool. She shoots you back the number. And then she might say, hey, I'm at work, but I'll text you. Right? So she texts you, and then maybe end of the day or the next day, you get on the phone and talking to her or whatever. And then you be like, yo, this bitch is a little weird. You know? Something just not right about her. Yeah. Something just a little off. You know? You know, be like, this is something just a little off about her. You know? And then you kind of like, all right, you click, you hang up, you move on, you go to bed that night, wake up the next day, and she might send you a text, say something like, hey, have you ever checked out this app? I'm like, what? Why the fuck this bitch sending me to an app? Another app. Not the app y'all meant. Another one. I'm like, this old weirdo bitch. I hope she get paid for this. This is weird. And you be like, nah, I ain't downloading I ain't downloaded that app. Like, why are you sending me over there? That's kind of weird, bro. You know. Now you knew something was weird about her even before that, but you just couldn't you couldn't figure it out but you know she was kind of off, you know. And then you say, hey, I ain't downloading that shit. Why do you want me to download another app from another website that ain't got nothing to do with you or her? That's what's going online now. There's a lot of that going online on these apps. Then a Mexican chick, as a black guy, has changed my life for the good. In what way? In what way? I talked to a Mexican chick before. What way? I talked to a Mexican chick when I was in the Navy. She was from San Diego. She was cool, but I don't know what. I think you had a different experience than me. And what type of way? I'm just curious, bro. I never met a woman that changed my life. No, that ain't never happened before. A different appreciation. No, I never met a woman like that. I would say I said this probably 2 videos before. There's no woman on the planet that treats me better than black American women. No. I've been around all these groups of women. You name them. You name the country. But black American women will roll out the red carpet for me. These other groups of women, they've never done me no favors. None. Yeah, they show me a good time. But a lot of that shit is transactional for the most part. You know, they show me a good time because eventually they want something down the line. You know what I'm saying? That's transactional. You know, I don't have to do that with black women, black American women. I don't have to do that. Uh, they they just do what they do because I'm that dude. You know what I'm saying? It's so that's the difference. I don't have transactional relationships with black women, but these other groups of women, usually end up being that way. Might not start off that way, but usually end up being that way. You know what I'm saying? You know. Now some guys, might not have a problem with that as long as they keep getting treated well. Okay, cool. But what happens when you can't? What happens when something happens to you and you can't do whatever that is no more? How do you? How do you? How do they treat you then? Because it's transactional now. You know what I'm saying? So that's just something to think about. That's all. Yeah. I mean, I'm not the moral police, but these just some things you should think about. See, because everybody that's around me, I know why they're there. Everybody. I know why people call me. I know why people visit me. I know why people associate with me. I know. It's not just because I talk good, look good, smash good. No, come on. I'm not ego driven like that. So, that's just something to think about. So appreciation, that's kind of a big statement. That's all I'm saying. I never met a woman that I could compare to my mom, to my mother. No, there's nobody that compares to my mother. I never met one. I never met a woman that was like my mom in today's time. I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm just saying I ain't never met them. I never met them. Not even close. And when you go to these other groups of women, forget about it. Good God, they light years off from my mom. They're not even close. Oh my God. I mean, they get overwhelmed they get overwhelmed when it comes to taking care of the kids for a couple hours. Shit. Multitask, forget about it. Shit. They don't make them like that no more. I guess not. These women from these other groups, they get overwhelmed for sunlight. It's too hot outside. It's too hot out here. Oh man, God damn. So shit. I think my mom was a damn alien. Something. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. Yeah, there's some people that's similar, but the same. Forget about it. Shit. And education ain't got nothing to do with it either, because my mom never graduated. Never graduated. She lived longer than a lot of these women live today. A lot of these women can't make it to 40 without falling apart. Can't even make it to 60 without passing away. So how the hell my mom had a 9th grade education, lived to be, 84, and she had no diseases. And these bras, and she not popping no pills. She didn't start popping pills until she turned 80. These bras today start popping pills in the 20s. Come on, man. Education ain't got nothing to do with it. All the education they got can't even make it to 40 in one piece. And these other females from these other countries, they ain't no better. They can't stop eating bushmeat. They can't stop eating bushmeat. They get sick. Every time I hear, I got a fever. I got, what's that shit they have? Malaria or some shit like that? They have a fever and a bacteria infection or some shit like that. I hear that shit all the time. Somebody's sick, got a bacteria infection or got malaria or got HIV. I'm like, God damn, stop eating bushmeat. You can't keep eating them wild animals and not expect to get sick. No, I don't got no snow bunnies. No, I don't rock with the snow bunnies. they ain't no better either. Those are some of the worst women on the planet. You know, the snow bunnies. God damn. You get with a snow bunny, you gonna starve. You can't cook. Get out of here, man. Well, hey, look, if you want some good smash, if you want a good smashing, oh yeah, okay, yeah. You probably get a good smashing with a lot of these groups of women. If you want some old gutter sex, you know, white women, they'll help you out in that category real good. But when it comes to good quality, healthy, traditional relationship, I'm telling you, that's where it's gonna be difficult. For the majority of these women, I'm telling you, you might meet somebody you get along with. Great, nothing wrong with that. You meet someone you get along with. They cook you some, I don't know, Thai food or some shit like that. Japanese food, Chinese food, whatever you like to eat. But I'm telling you, if you're really honest, you'd be like, yeah, food is good, the sex is okay, but you know, it ain't really all that. You know, it's alright. You know, I had better. If you're really honest, I know you take the cape off. I know some guys got that cape on, boy. You know, because you know there's some girls. Yeah, she got a big ass and some tits. Yeah. But you start talking to her, you be like, what the fuck? Oof. God. Praise God for everything. It's God did it all. God did everything. Yeah. If it's up to her. Yeah. You listen to her, she didn't do anything. Oh, praise God. God did it. Yeah, I'm like, God damn. You didn't do nothing? You got to give yourself some credit sometime now. God damn. You know. Praise God. Yeah. Oh, boy. Pray to God. God get all the glory and she don't get anything. You don't get no glory either. Just praise God. God will make a way. Oh, God. And then she might look good with some nice ass and tits, but boy, once you start talking, you get to know her, you be like, what the fuck? How the hell am I supposed to be with somebody that think like this? Oof. You get with a person like you gonna be struggling, nigga. The kid's gonna be neglected. She gonna be in there. Hey, I'm happy you home. Here you go. And you get a baby to you. You be like, hey, what the fuck? I just got from work. You know what the fuck? She give you the baby and she grab her coat. She right out. She out the door. She going down to the bar, hanging with the kids, hanging with her girlfriend or some shit like that. That's the type of shit you're gonna be dealing with. Cause I'm overwhelmed. You know, that type of shit. So just because you might look good and got some nice ass and tits, but the mindset is like, ooh, boy, I tell you, this is She might be a good girlfriend, but boy, when it comes to being a wife, ooh, my God, come to being a mother, ooh, you be like, oh boy, she got some work to do. In that category, she's not even close. Instead of like cooking home meals, she gets on the goddamn internet. She order something to order anywhere, any app, you name it. Everything is Instacart. Everything is on Chipotle. It's like Bojangles. You name it. Damn. Are you gonna cook something for the kids? At some point. God damn. That's what you're gonna run into, boy. That's what you're gonna run into with these other groups of women. Boy, it's that's been my experience. You might disagree. You might love all that damn food. You might love eating out all the time. You might love it. I don't. I don't love everybody's food. I don't eat anybody's food. I prefer to eat home meals. You might not care about any of that shit. And that's great. Nothing wrong with that. But I'm just telling you what I like in my experience. You might say, hey man, as long as I'm getting some good sex, I'll be alright. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. But don't complain. Don't complain later on. Don't complain when she moves in with you. Y'all get married, moving together, and she flips on you. Don't complain when she flips on you, because you didn't really have a plan, and you let shit slide. You let things slide. You let her get away with all that shit in the beginning. And now that the kids done came about, it ain't cool no more. Because you let all that shit slide in the beginning. And now you complaining. And now you don't want to take responsibility for your own actions. And you let it slide because the sex was good. And now she don't want to give you no sex no more, like she used to. And that's when it starts to become, oh man, I got a problem with that. Sure. And she laid up with some other guy. Once you come home from work, she give you the baby in your arms. She grab her jacket, purse. She out the door. She hang out with somebody else. Eventually gonna be with another guy. Especially if she got daddy issues. Well, in this day and time, it could be with a man and a woman today. Yeah, it could be with a man. She could probably be laid up with a man and a woman today. Yeah, that's your fault. You let things slide. As long as the sex was good, no problem. Yep. That's what people do. They let things slide as long as they're having a good time. But when they're not having a good time, that's when people start complaining. Men and women do it all the time. I heard somebody say, I heard a football coach say something like, this shit made so much sense. He said, don't accept anything you wouldn't in a win that you wouldn't in a loss. Boy, that made so much sense. I'm going to say that one more time. He said, don't accept anything you wouldn't in a win that you wouldn't in a loss. Woo! That's some wisdom for your ass, boy. I heard a football coach said that shit. That shit resonated with me like immediately. And that's the same thing when it comes to relationships between men and women. Don't accept anything you wouldn't in a win in a loss. Woo, man. But hey, a lot of times you gotta take your cape off You know, 'cause a lot of times, a lot of quote nice guys, uh, fake guys. That's what they fake guys. That's what you really are. You know, they don't want to say anything because they don't want to ruffle. I don't want to ruffle no feathers. I don't want to hurt her feelings or piss her off. I don't want her to leave me. She gonna threaten me. What? Let me tell you something. If she leaves you, man, she doing you a favor. Shit. The earlier she leaves, the better. That's how I see it. Oh man, the earlier she leaves, the better. I'm gonna get another bitch. That's better than the one that just left. Man, what are you talking about? Shit. Cause I can still pull out here. And so when she leaves, man, oh, abracadabra. Thank God for that. Shit. I ain't gonna be sitting there begging for her to come back. What? Man, I'll pack the bags. And if she leaves with another guy, oh, I'll shake his hand. Thank you very much. You can have the bitch. Whew. Along with all her problems and issues she might have. Hey, you got any questions for me? Anything you want to know about her? I'll be gladly, I'll tell you all about her. Shit. Yeah, let me tell you something. I don't want people to be around me that feel like they stuck or, captured or some shit like that or kidnapped. Man, if you want to leave, deuces, man. You know, we got kids. Like I said, I'll get another bitch. There's plenty of guys that got kids that are single parents that got another woman, and she didn't sweat it. She like, you're like, hey, did you have a problem with his with his kids when y'all met? She's like, no. I have kids myself. She might have one, two, or she might not have none. She might not have no kids. She's like, no, I don't mind at all. No. I love his kids. Yeah. As a matter of fact, we're going to have one too. Yeah. So that'll be 3 kids in the household. You know. So I'll be a stepmother. And then I'll be a mother of my own kids. One big happy family. Shit. There's plenty of guys that done that shit out here. I know a few of them. And my boy Mike, from the boot, he did that shit. His first wife left. Second wife was he got married to a second wife. He had what? I think Mike might have had 3 kids at the time. You know? I think he might have had 3 kids at the time when she left. And he was a single parent for about, it was a minute, boy. 2-3 years. Until he, I don't know when he met the girl. The second wife. I don't know when they met. But I know it was a couple years before he got married the second time. I think he might have had 3 kids. And they ended up having another kid when he got married. So that's 4 kids in the household. So plenty of guys done that shit. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. You know. I ain't gonna be sitting there. First off, I ain't got time to be begging and pleading for nobody to stay with me. I ain't got time for that shit. I got shit to do. You know? I ain't got time for all that. I ain't got time. I got time for childish games that people like to play. Immature games people like to play. Hell no. Save that for your mama. Not for me. I ain't your mama. Shit. Yeah, but man, hey, it is what it is, you know. But hey, like I said, go check out my book, Love at First Click, on Amazon.com, so you won't make all them damn mistakes out here like a lot of people are making. Because there's certain things, if you're on the internet the first time, registering for an account, on Match.com, PlentyOfFish.com, Bumble.com, any of these apps, There's things you're just not gonna know. You're just not gonna know. Someone has to tell you that's been on them sites before, that has the experience. Otherwise, you're gonna get taken advantage of. I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna get got. You're gonna get taken advantage of. So hey, don't cheat yourself. Treat yourself. Like, share this episode. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.